Problem 1021 on page F433 is another one of those problems that is a list of transactions, and a selection needs to be made from that list as to which goes onto the financing section of the statement of cash flows. Remember to use the guide on page F410 as you examine the list in the problem. This is the final individual section of a complete statement of cash flows. The first item on the list in the problem is loss on sale of equipment. Book losses were discussed before, and the determination was made that they don't belong in a direct method statement of cash flows. So we'll put a little X next to that transaction. Next item on the list is proceeds from the sale of equipment. As we look at our prior two problems, we should see that purchase and sale of equipment belongs in the investing activities section of the statement of cash flows. So an X goes next to this one too. The next item on the list is cash paid for Eastman Kodak stock. Again, this belongs in the investing activities section and gets an X next to it on the list. Item 4 is proceeds from the sale of Lori Bellhoff preferred stock. If you look above the list, you'll notice that Lori Bellhoff Company is the one creating the statement of cash flows. This means that the sale of stock is a financing activity, as it is raising capital on which the company can run. Item number 5 says, paid Lori Bellhoff dividends. Look at the list on page F410. All the way down at the bottom under financing activities, the first item under cash outflows is to pay dividends to stockholders. Therefore, this item belongs on the section of statement of cash flows. The next item is again sale of Lori Bellhoff stock, and this also belongs in this section. The final item on this page is the proceeds from the sale of part of the Kodak stock. We've already determined above that the Kodak stock transactions belong in the investing section of the statement, so this one gets an X next to it. Turning the page, the next item is borrowed cash from Ocean Bank. Looking at the summary on page F410, cash inflows under financing activities includes from bank loans or sale of corporate bonds. That means this belongs on the statement. The next item is payment of interest on Ocean Bank loan. Looking again at the summary on F410, cash outflows under operating activities shows to creditors for interest on loans. This item gets an X since it belongs in the operating activities section. The final item, repayment of principal on Ocean Bank loan, obviously belongs in this section since the borrowed cash from Ocean Bank belongs here. In the format on your screen, the form is set up to go. Loss on sale of equipment, the first item on the list, goes under what is not part of the financing activities section. The proceeds from the sale of equipment also has an X next to it and goes in the same list. This is also true for the cash paid for Eastman Kodak stock. Proceeds from the sale of preferred stock of $200,000 goes on the form on your screen as a positive number. As they sell stock, they get cash. Paid dividends goes on the form as a negative $80,000. When you pay dividends, that's cash going out. Proceeds from common stock sale is a positive $160,000. Proceeds from the Kodak stock sale goes on the list above since it has an X next to it. Borrowed cash from Ocean Bank of $300,000 goes on the form as a positive number. Repayment of principal on Ocean Bank loan goes on the form as a negative $120,000, since this is cash out. Finally, the repayment of interest on Ocean Bank loan has an X next to it and goes on the list at the top of the form.